Welcome to Remarkable Old Photos. Main Street in Little Rock, Arkansas, circa 1910, viewed north from 6th Street. The city's downtown was a hub of commerce and streetcar transit by the early 20th century. Eddie Van Halen and David Lee Roth grabbed burgers at a Missouri McDonald's in 1977 after a radio interview, during which Roth once claimed he ate 20 Big Macs in one sitting. James Dean's last photo, taken in September 1955, shows him moments before his fatal crash. He was only 24 years old. Two men stand together in Billings, Montana, in 1939. Billings hosted the first ever drive-in gas station in the United States. Unemployed men gather under a streetlight in Govan, Scotland during the 1931 economic crisis, when shipbuilding layoffs left over 30% of the workforce jobless. A bustling Bronx street at Bathgate Avenue in 1936, captured by Arthur Rothstein, shows vibrant urban life during the Great Depression. The photo was taken just blocks from Yankee Stadium, home to baseball legend Babe Ruth's famed 1927 Murderers Row team. In January 1943, Engine Company No. 4, a black American fire crew in Washington, D.C., returned from battling blazes during a time when segregation still divided the city's fire departments. Last surviving Six Nations veterans of the War of 1812 gathered in Brantford, Ontario, in July 1882, decades after their service helped secure key British victories in the war. U.S. President George H.W. Bush met Syrian President Hafez al-Assad in Geneva in 1990 to discuss Middle East peace. It was the first face-to-face meeting between U.S. and Syrian leaders in over 20 years. An Italian Alpino ziplines between mountain peaks during World War I in 1917. These elite soldiers used cable systems to traverse the Alps, sometimes at altitudes over 10,000 feet. A 1910 horse-drawn school wagon transported children in rural America, where some districts used mobile classrooms to reach remote areas. Mark Twain visited Nikola Tesla's lab in 1894, where he held an experimental vacuum lamp while Tesla observed the device demonstrated wireless lighting years before it became practical. A peddler sells suspenders by New York stocks in the 1890s, when over 80% of Lower Manhattan's population lived in crowded tenements. Crowds gather at One Times Square in 1919 for World Series updates, the same year the infamous Black Sox scandal broke. RNC Chairman William Hayes met with Republican presidential nominee Warren G. Harding and running mate Calvin Coolidge in 1920. Both men would later become U.S. presidents after Harding's unexpected death in office. Adolphe Pécaud was a pioneering French aviator and the first World War I fighter ace, achieving 6 aerial victories before his death in 1915. He was also the first pilot to perform a loop in an airplane in 1913. Crosstown Auto Supply Company in Washington, D.C., circa 1927, served early drivers during a time when fewer than half of American households owned a car. Durazdevar Sultan, an Ottoman princess, married the Nizam of Hyderabad's son in 1932. She was also the first woman to be awarded Turkey's Order of the State. A bustling Jewish market on New York City's Lower East Side, circa 1900, pirates daily life for Eastern European immigrants. Over 1.5 million Jews settled in NYC by 1920, making it the largest Jewish city in the world at the time. Quincy Street in Hancock, Michigan, circa 1906, shows a bustling early 20th century mining town. Copper from this region helped electrify America. The Raleigh Hotel on Miami Beach, designed by architect L. Murray Dixon, featured a striking pool viewed from the center in 1941. It became a prototype for the Miami modern architectural style. A 1927 hands-free phone prototype used a foot pedal to dial, predating speakerphones by decades. Houdini prepares to enter his Chinese water torture cell, a daring escape act he first performed in 1912. He held his breath for over 3 minutes during the stunt. A shipment of kimonos awaits delivery on Thompson Street in New York, February 1912, where a quiet girl stands beside the bundle. Japanese silk imports to the U.S. surged by 300% between 1900 and 1915. The William A. Clark House in Manhattan, completed in 1911 for $7 million over $200 million today, was one of the most expensive homes ever built, featuring 21 rooms and a private marble staircase imported from Italy. Harry Kendall Thaw, heir to a coal and railroad fortune, left court during his 1915 sanity trial after murdering architect Stanford White. He was one of the first Americans to successfully use the insanity defense twice in separate trials. A Chicago pharmacy was shut down for a year in the 1920s for violating prohibition laws, and many such closures were enforced under the Volstead Act. The U.S. 31st Infantry arrived in Shanghai in 1932 to protect the international settlement during Sino-Japanese clashes, marking one of the largest American military deployments in pre-war China. Passengers dined in the North Coast Limited's restaurant car in 1934. The train's dining service used fine china and linen to mimic luxury hotels. Saunderton Station in England was burned by suffragettes in 1913. The attack was part of a wider campaign of civil disobedience to win women's voting rights. A street in Querétaro, circa 1910s, features a meat shop and a small waterway running down the center. These waterways, called acequias, were originally built by indigenous and Spanish engineers for irrigation and urban water supply. Sardines sun-dry on Monterey's wharf circa 1908, a key step in the region's booming canning industry. At its peak, Monterey processed over 300,000 tons of sardines annually before the fishery collapsed by the 1950s. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy historical photos like this, consider subscribing for more.